Right.
And another thing, you talked about China and you talked about vested interests. Now, one of the unintended consequences of global warming or climate change is that while the Arctic melts, that would end up creating potentially a trade route.
Yeah.
What would be a long route to connect two countries when they are shipping millions of dollars of worth of containers? Now you could have a shortcut, lesser fuel, faster shipping, people make profits. So I would imagine some part of the world is praying for more of this.
Absolutely. 100%. And one of the things that I do find dispiriting is I think the enthusiasm or the readiness of many countries to prepare for a world without Arctic ice than to actually try to stop us getting to a world without Arctic ice. And you're exactly right. And it ties back into that question you were asking about earlier, explorers, in that these explorers thought that there was going to be this passage or passages through the Arctic, and there wasn't because there was so much ice. In a strange sense, it's like what's happening is what people couldn't do in the 1500s and 1600s and 1700s, they're now like, oh, great, now we finally get an opportunity to do it. And to make it worse, they've gone beyond the, oh, gosh, we could have these passages in the ice and that would be great for trade, to we have to fight other countries over the right to this. And so then you have the United States military saying, oh, China and Russia are in the Arctic. Of course, Russia's in the Arctic. It's the largest Arctic nation. We have to do more. And then you have Donald Trump saying, we have to have Greenland. We're going to invade Greenland and take Greenland to keep China and Russia away. All these nonsensical arguments that it's very Cold War-like. The biggest threat to security in Arctic is assuming that conflict is inevitable when it absolutely isn't. And the other point that I like to make to folks who say, oh, well, this would be great. There'll be these trade routes in the Arctic. It'll be fantastic. Is by the time all the ice has disappeared from the Arctic as a result of climate change, the impacts of climate change elsewhere are also going to be immense and greater. It's not just going to stop everywhere else while it warms in the Arctic. So, if it's 45 degrees every day in winter in Mumbai, you're probably not going to be that excited about the fact that a melting Arctic means you can get your packages from somewhere a day earlier. So by the time we have Arctic trade routes, I don't think people are going to care about Arctic trade routes.